Good evening. Sorry, good afternoon. Ain't that late yet? Good evening. Welcome to the Big Dam. This is Bobby Hill, yours truly. I thank y'all for coming here with me today. Just sorry I couldn't make it yesterday. Things happen. Had to, sometimes life interjects and, you have to handle business. So, I'm here for you right now. I'm here for you now. Tell you sometimes whatever life comes up, have to handle that. So it still is gonna stop me from, you know, doing what I'm one excuse me, doing what I'm set out to do here right now. Just to be here for y'all. Let this is take this journey, as I said in my description, take this journey through life and I want y'all to come with me. We're making stops on the way. You know. Had a good day today. Hope y'all had a good day today. Hope you had a good day at work, good day at home, well, good day at school, whatever you do. To make the day go by. Hope y'all had a successful day today. And I hope you one step closer to your goals, whatever it is. Like I say, congratulations across from everywhere to all the high school graduates this year. You know, Fortunately, my daughter, my youngest child, graduated last year and I was able to see her graduate, and that meant a lot to me because I didn't get a chance to see my other children walk across the stage, but I got to see her. So it don't make up for the ones that I wasn't able to see, but it feels good to be able to see at least one of my children walk across the stage, and it always feels good. Every time I think about it, just makes me feel good. I like to say congratulations to all the high school graduates this year. You finally made it. After all these years. From preschool to kindergarten to elementary school, middle school, and then you got through it. You know, that's let you know life is just beginning. That's the easy part. Now life begins. Whoever tells you that it gets easier, they lie to you. No, it's the easy years right now. As hard as you feel like high school was, life is a whole lot difficult. But keep your head on straight. You have good people in your corner. You can get through it. It ain't impossible. It's just it can be hard. But what they say, pressure breaks pipes or creates diamonds. You try to be that diamond. Don't be that damn pipe that cracks. So up here in San Antonio is good. Like I said, it's my first time we're living in a city, well, an NBA city, well, a city any professional sports. Growing up, the closest pro team we had was growing up, the closest I'm trying to think, either the Washington Redskins or the Atlanta Falcons. I think it was Washington. Washington, they were the closest sports team that we had now, and we got of course, now we have, no, say we, growing up in North Carolina they got the Carolina Panthers. It's really North and South Carolina's team. That's why they hence say Carolina and not North Carolina Panthers or the South Carolina Panthers. It's the Carolina Panthers. And then they have the Carolina Hurricanes, this hockey team. So they have pro teams now. But growing up, we didn't have anything like that. So this is first experience, in a city that has a pro team, and not just a pro team, a good pro team with five titles, and opening I know when it's here, it's good to see like the fandom around here. How you see even the youngest kids with a Wemby jersey on to the oldest people here with a Wemby jersey on. It's good. The more they win, the more you see the people around here, the more you see the signs going up, go Spurs, and they really support their team. And it's a very good, it's very, very good experience seeing all this. I just sit back and soak it up, just look at it and just smile at it. It's like looking at it, people, become, people could become little kids, like, for a few hours during the game, they could be kids again, or think of their teenage years again. Think about it, that fandom and stuff. And I like it. It's good. I like it. It's good. I don't get I don't get too emotional and stuff like that over the game. Never that. I've never been that person. Never will. So it's just a game. No, I ain't. I don't bet, so it ain't like I got my livelihood bet on the game or something. So when it comes down to it, it's still just a game to me. But it's good to see that the people out here are just supporting their team, and oh my God, they love their team, right? They love Spurs. Everybody. When I be going, like making, going deliveries, going to see the different places, I go to hospitals, I go to, they got several types of hospitals here. They got several corporations, high-rise buildings. Everywhere I go, see people, Spurs shirts, Spurs all around Spurs. Like one game to go, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's good. It's good to see it's good to see the people unite over this. So I think you know you know something for just one symbol for people to unite with is so it's still a refreshing thing that even though through all this madness that goes on in this country every day from the government and the administration, that still the basic fundamentals as far as supporting your local team or supporting your pro team and all that hasn't been lost. That fans can still go out here and support their team and dream a little bit and live a little bit, and don't have to, at least that aspect of American life hasn't been affected yet. So that's good. That's good. But I'm telling you, man, because every day every day this administration is trying every day trying to affect every aspect of your life. So just I don't know. Like I said, sometimes you have a loss of words because you sit back and watch it. And, it's like you'll be amazed with it. It's so part of it's sad, and then part of it is frustrating because we told, like, for the people that are really like people that are all of a sudden they have like buyer's remorse and don't like want sympathy before because things have happened to them now that according to them they didn't foresee. They didn't think that even though when this man told you what he was going to do to a certain segment of population in this country, when he told you he was going to do that, for some reason they didn't do it. They didn't think that it was going to affect them. So when it affects them, they want public support. And we sit back here saying, we told you this, we don't feel sorry for you. You don't. Any Trump, to me personally, this is me. Anybody voted for Trump the second time, first time I see how you could be duped. Because, he was new to this politics game and, so it was little, whatever. You could sort of like, okay, you made this mistake. You realize he wasn't about what he said he was, or they didn't align with your qualities. So you made a mistake. That's fine. But the second time, this man told you exactly what he was going to do. He told you. You heard about Project 2025. You heard about all that stuff, and you still decided to vote for that man. And if it affected you, don't feel sorry for you. That man told you what he was going to do, and you voted for him anyway. Because somehow you thought you were special. That wasn't going to happen to you, but it happened to you. So don't expect sympathy because there ain't nobody going to sympathize for you because this man told you. Now I said over to now, I guess it went over to China, to have a summit with their president. What do you call it? I think his name is Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping, I think that's his name. Yeah, going over there And it's sad that we have a president going over there in such a weakened position. This war, he started this war, and now he don't like this war no more. But guess what? He can't stop this war because he underestimated the person that he thought Iran gonna be like whatever Venezuela. You blow a couple of boats out the daggone blow a couple of boats out of the water and then go in there and take the president and do all that stuff. Then you thought Iran was gonna be something like that. Nah, cause it ain't like that. These people got staying power. They letting you know you want this. Come on, you see how bad you really want it. Let's see how far that you are really willing to go with this. And they call it his bluff. Now he don't know what to do because these prices been got out of control. The global energy crisis. The price of fertilizer. All these supporters of his that was farmers now, they sitting up here, crying whatever because the fertilizer prices are going up, which causes the price of goods to go up. Stuff that's grown, stuff that uses fertilizer to grow and stuff like that. All that stuff prices going up on that. You got gas going up. So $4 everywhere going up, Diesel. Oh my God, diesel is and that deals with the trucking industry. When you deal with the trucking industry, you deal with every single thing that's on a shelf in the store. Let them damn shit, let them prices go. Let them start, I know they feeling the pinch, $6 or $7 a gallon for fuel, and it takes about just for a small little load and stuff. It they might spend well over $1,000 in fuel just to do that. Yes, it's going to affect everything, you know. But you voted for this. You voted for this. You knew this man was incompetent, and you voted for him anyway. Now we suffering for this. So that's why no one is going to sympathize with you. No one. Especially not now because everybody's in this problem now. This is everybody's problem now. Them prices go up. Them grocery prices up. It costs now to buy one meal. Let's say you want to cook something like last night. I cooked some lasagna last night. I got we bought all the stuff for there. It cost about the price to cook lasagna is about the same price it is going to them Olive Garden and going to get it. The prices are getting neck and neck now, and it's crazy. It's crazy, and there's no relief, man. You have to make business decisions. You have to make life decisions when you're thinking about groceries and gas and everything. Now you got to think about whenever you routes you go, the way you go here, especially, man, most, not so, maybe not in the smaller towns, maybe big cities, you have to think about, now you have to think about, going places now. I don't need to take this extra trip here. I don't need to go here. I need to, find a shorter route here because this gas will go up. You have to find ways to try to save gas. Gas going up, but motherfucking wages ain't going up. Excuse my language, but that's real. Wages ain't going up. Gas going up. Prices going up. Wages staying the same. Probably going down because hell, they will end up cutting jobs after that. Shit, because it's going to affect the economy, man. People going to run out of money. They sitting here trying to, like I said, trying to save money. They try to, find a way to get the most out of the gas money. Then they got the food money. You got the kid. I mean, it's crazy out here. It's crazy. That's why elections are important, man. That's why these people. That's why think about this stuff. All these elections are important. The big people. All you might hear is like national elections getting all the airplay. This national elections, but those aren't the elections that you need to pay attention to. The elections that affect your everyday life are these local elections. The mayor, the city council, the police chief, the fire chief, the clerk of court, this stuff like that. judges, district judges and stuff like those are the elections that affect your everyday life. Those are elections that you need to take serious. It's as serious as you take the presidential election or the House or the U.S. House or the U.S. Senate. You need to take these local elections just as important. That's one of the reasons why these Republicans are able to gerrymander these districts now because they took the local elections seriously all these years. Go back to 2010 after Barack Obama got elected. Go back to 2010 and see where the Republicans did so much damage. Yes, they got a lot of House seats and everything, but they did their most damage where? In local elections. That's how they set up to what they can do now. Because once it was a systematic thing. They got all Republicans, all these small municipalities across this country, all these little towns and stuff in so-called Middle America, which is called for White America, in the middle and all across this country, little towns, they ran by conservative Republicans. So when it's time for them to when the Supreme Court came with this ruling, opening the door for them to redistrict, all these Republicans have no problem going in there redistricting Democrats all out of the government. It's like, who's gonna stop me? Not the president, not Congress, not the Supreme Court. So take a look at what's going on out here. Vote. The elections are important, man. Get these people are saying, you're telling you it's important. That's why they're trying to gerrymander. That's why they're trying to get a section of people out of here not to vote because they knew if everybody voted, they wouldn't be in power. That's why they try to cut that. They're too lazy to try to convince people to see their side of the table, see their side of the argument. They're too lazy to do that. They'd rather just cut people out all the jail. We ain't gonna waste time trying to get you to listen to us. We just cut your damn rights out so you don't have to worry about it anyway. That's what they're trying to do. They don't want to talk to us. They want to cut us out. They don't want to come in our neighborhood and try to get our vote. They'd rather just cut our vote out. We don't care if you vote or not. We still gonna win. And that's what's going on. And we're allowing it to happen because we don't care. We're like, the system has been against us participating in it for so long that we at the point now we don't care, whatever. Like, just don't come crying at us whenever your damn Social Security, your food stamps, whatever get taken away. Don't come crying to us. We've been going through it all the time. Welcome to how we feel. I ain't got a man up here that told y'all that he don't care about the financial situation of the people in this country, that he only cares about this war. He cares about, main thing he cares about, these people who rode with him to China, these CEOs and all these people trying to hang on, what they say, trying to suck at the power teat. So that's all they doing, trying to, for a photo op. So whenever they take pictures of the official pictures, so they can be in it, so they can use that as a tool to promote whatever they trying to sell over there. So all it is a business trip. People trying to make money. Trump trying to make his family money. Got Eric Trump over there. He ain't gonna do shit. What are you gonna do over there? Nothing. Trying to get his family some more money. The most corrupt administration ever. All they try to do is make their family money, and they're gonna sit up there. For anybody in the Republican that says that they don't like, for every person that says that they don't like any other, like these other administrations because they don't like America, part of me want to be a Charles Oakley on them. And do a Charlie Murphy or do what did the 5 fingers stick to the face? Oh my God, if I see him, like, man, don't you dare tell me about no corrupt administration. If you don't say nothing about this man openly telling you that he's getting money. You can openly see that his kids sitting up here on the boards of, Fortune 500 companies up here making deals, government deals, just to enrich them companies to enrich themselves. It's happening in broad daylight. That's it, man. But yo, we got, but it's I always say, man, presidents don't last forever. So we get through this. Hopefully, he don't do too much damage. Hopefully that we have a strong enough foundation that we can't let this incompetent person take us off the damn. I remember the metaphor that they use a lot. That the economy ran it was in a ditch, and we trying to get the car out of the ditch and back on the road. That was the whole thing. Now we just hope this whole country is ran into a ditch, and hopefully, and now more like quicksand. It feel like. Hopefully, we don't get stuck in it too bad. We can pull ourselves out of it. This man is just doing a whole lot of damage. Or hopefully, we can, allow we can allow ourselves to come back from this. Don't get stuck in this. Don't, you know, Trump is 101. Trump is who he is. And I hope these people don't sit up here and try to, don't people, hope these people sit up here and try to, you know, try to be Trump 2.0. You don't need to do that. Cause he's going, first of all, you're going to look like an idiot up here. Even as kids, don't be sitting up here trying to do them. No, don't, no. Then you got these people. I don't want these, their sons, Eric and Don Jr. sitting up here thinking they're what they call kingmakers. Like they'll be able to endorse people and get. Little do they know to realize this is all the appeal is with your father. The kids, y'all, no. Well, you can try if you want to. You can try to run for office if you want to. You're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. You're not. Because y'all live under the veil of your father. When that is over with, y'all will be exposed to be incompetent as y'all are. So so like saying, like I said, like we're checking out, about get more people up there live and stuff. You can do some live chatting and stuff, and that will be once I keep on, once I keep going, keep get getting my feet wet, get everything going. We better get more people up here and be able to do live chats and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm just trying to trying to expand. Not the type of person I'm be all inclusive too. And I'm not that person that's gonna be like it can't be accessible. Like nobody won't better holler. I'm not that type of person. I ain't never be like that. If I'm not busy, from my time I'm not occupied, you will always be able to holler at me. I'll always respond to you and stuff like that. Especially my homeboys, man. People I grew up with. I always got time for that. I always try to show love because that's that's whoever. I feel like I owe everybody. You know, are people who I've had interaction with in my life. Everybody who know me, good, bad, whatever interaction. I appreciate all the interactions because this made me who I am today. Good or bad. Had good reactions, good interactions, even the bad interactions because I learned something from it. I learned something from it. Maybe I didn't learn nothing at the time, but as I got older, I learned something from it. So yes, I appreciate everybody who I've had interaction with, good or bad. You know, gave me 51 years of life experiences, and that's and then in perspective that I'm trying to share with y'all. Share, am I right? Am my perspective always gonna be right? No, but it's giving my perspective. Like I said, maybe that somebody could show me a better way. Maybe I might help somebody see a better way. So that's why we do this. So like I said, I love how I love the the feedback that I get from people, family, friends, people checking it out. Like the little positive feedback I'm getting. Like I said, more of that is fuel for me to keep going, knowing that people are feeling it and everything. Just keep pushing through. Everything don't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. Most time when it does happen overnight, it's something up with it. Something. It's like hitting the lottery. A lot of people hit lottery. In a couple of years, losing all the money that they have because they're not ready for it, or they're just not used to it, or they end up blowing it. They don't have the mind to sustain all that income or all that capital and stuff. They first thing they'll blow it on everything. Buy. Don't worry about keeping, maintaining, saving. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm not here trying to get a whole bunch of followers in one day and nothing. Trying to grind. Get loyal followers, loyal people, loyal here that's gonna, come ride with me, ride or die. Not, people just here today and won't listen to me no more. I want loyal followers so we can talk, become like a family and community. That's my aim. That's my goal. You know, so we can have a following and we can solve problems together. We can cut it up together. We can laugh together. We can joke together. And if it's something painful, we can cry together. You know, that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Like I said, I tell every time I do it, and every time I like give a shout out to my lovely wife, Sandra. I tell her every time that I have this on podcast, I always give her a shout out because she has always she's there for me. She's there for me support me every single step of the way, and I support her every single step of the way. You know, and it's good to have somebody in your back. It makes it a lot easier, a lot less stressful when you got somebody here in your corner just pushing you, even when you might be like, oh man, I don't know. She'd be like, let's do this. I help her, push her. There's goals that she want to, obtain for her fitness wise, health wise. And I'm here to help her. She pushes me, I push her. We push each other. So and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. We supposed to lean on each other so we can come up together. It's all about one person having all this and you helping giving. No, it's good. It's okay. You say, somebody have a bunch of means and with somebody get with somebody that don't have any and they help that person and say, no, that's good. But to me, it's more fulfilling. You have two people that start from the level and y'all come up together. You come up together. Much more satisfying, I think. Like I said, this is satisfying because I have support behind me right. I'm sorry, support beside me right here. Got my queen beside me, pushing me along the way. You know, helping me keep my head up. Just stay positive, keep your head up. And things that happen, good things that happen. You know, that happen. Don't always happen whenever you want them to. You might be anxious for them to happen now. They might not happen now. It might not be your time right now. As the old pastor say, it might not be your season right now. Your season might be coming later. For real. So, and like I said, I like being out here in this. I like being out here in Texas. I like the vibe out here in Texas. I like just the whole, like I said, the whole get down out here. Is it perfect? No, it ain't perfect out here. It ain't perfect nowhere. But I just like how the people are around here. Everybody ain't friendly. It's ain't no kind. Everybody won't be saying hey to you, but the people are friendly around here. Now they don't. I haven't experienced like a bunch of like any you know, I can't say racism because you don't know what's in people's heads, so I can't say that. But I haven't experienced like any, vile, vicious, mean, people being hateful and stuff, have people look at you and stuff. That's anywhere. People going, I've been driving truck, people been looking at you all the time. But as far as I haven't had any like nothing like bad, nothing around here. I have me and so my wife is Mexican, so we have and my wife has, she has tattoos. I have tattoos. So when we walk through, places like Walmart and different places, we see that we see people come looking at us and stuff because we're a unique looking couple. I'm not tall for Texas standard, but I'm like 6'1", probably about 250, 260. Dark skin with a big gray beard, and she's 5'5". She likes to dye hair and she has tattoos and stuff. And yes, people be looking like they look at us. People, have people come up to us and be like, look, y'all had this older white woman. It's probably older, probably like in the 60s, come up to us and I'm like, y'all are a very good looking couple. We tell them thank you and keep it moving. Have experienced stuff like that. Not to try to brag. Ain't saying that to like trying to brag and nothing like that because I'm not a bragging person. I'm just saying that's what happens. People come up to us and say, you look very nice. I remember we was over the road one time and this guy walked up to him and we was walking to take a shower. We wasn't dressed up and then we was walking like we was we was about to go take a shower and stuff, and the guy was pumping fuel. He came up to us. First he saw us and he went back in his truck and came back out, and Gary said, look, man, I don't know why, but I felt like I just had to go get this and come give this to y'all. He gave us a Bible. So, had people, had this black man who was just walking back to the truck and the guy was just looking and walking like, man, y'all damn sure look good together, man. And kept on walking like that. So we've been through stuff like that. And like I said, that's appreciative, but I don't live for that. I don't live for people to say that stuff. But when they do say it, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to act like that. It don't feel good, it does. But that don't like fuel my existence, like for people to say, oh, you look good. No, I don't care about that. But it's nice when it happens, So that's a good thing. Like I said, out here in public, and I like, I do that. I've always done this for a long time. Every time, because this is a military town right here, and they got a lot of military bases here. They got Air Force bases, they got them joint bases, I think, joint, JB, joint bases. And and I see a lot of retired like military, Vietnam vet, Korean War, Desert Storm. I see a lot of Iraq veterans. I see a lot of veterans out here, and every time I see one, I always shake their hand, especially the elder ones that I notice in their like their 60s and 70s. I go up to them and I see them, and they see me come up. I know they look at me and they laugh. Someone saw it every time I go up to them. I shake their hand real softly, and I look to them. I say, "Thank you for your service, sir." And I see that every time I say that, I see their face light up, and they give me a hand. Thank you, young man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I know I could tell that made their day. I like doing stuff like that. Now, every military person, I see everyone, it don't matter where it don't matter. It don't matter your nationality, it don't matter. If I see you in the military and I see that you, like I said, you even gave your life and everything, I will let you know that, I appreciate what you done. Because that's why they do it. They do it to, so we can enjoy, things that we have over here that we take for granted. So yes, I try to, every time I try to, see a military person, I try to acknowledge them and let them know that, look, hey man, I see you. I see what you done. I know what you done. And I appreciate what you done. Even though sometimes the people up top might not appreciate it, just down here and on civilian level, we appreciate it here. But I always appreciate it. With that being said, I'd like to thank y'all for coming and for being here with me today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't make it yesterday. Try to be here tomorrow. Hopefully, I got to adopt. Hopefully, my boys can finish it up tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. I like Ant Edwards, man. I'm an Ant Edwards fan, yo. He's a breath of fresh air, like he used to play with us down there at Fisher Drive or Royal Lane Park and stuff. He was like, I feel like I can relate to him. So I love Ant Edwards, but San Antonio, Big Bay. Hopefully we can do that thing tomorrow. But yeah, I'd like to thank y'all for coming here with me today. And we'll try to do this thing again tomorrow. Like I said, we keeping it real. Whatever's in the air today, whatever's in the air for the day, that's what we're gonna talk about. You know, like I said, we try to keep it fluid here. Have a wide range of topics. I just don't want to be stuck down one lane. I want to be able to talk to people. Be able to have well-rounded conversations. That's be a well-rounded person. I feel like I'm a well-rounded person, and we can discuss a lot of things, and that's what we try to do up here. So yes, I like to appreciate it. And I'd like to thank y'all for being here for the third time. And we'll be here tomorrow around the same time. And as I always say, kiss your kids, kiss your loved ones, because you never know when will be the last time. All right, thank y'all. I love y'all. I will see y'all later.